witchy people, back again today, and I thought I'd do a short video on witching on a budget, which is why I'm showing you my herb table. And I'm going to start off by coming down here and it's little things like this. This is leftover holly twigs from when I did my last bunch of holly leaves and holly berries, and I saved the twigs because you can cut those up and use them the same as you would holly bark or even holly leaves. So that's in there ready to be cut up, and I use scissors because it's easier. Oops, nearly dropping my computer here. So here's some more of my herb collection, and some of it's bought, some of it's grown, and some of it is another good tip. If you can't grow your own, which is obviously the cheapest, and there are some herbs that you want, things like this is parsley, and this is a mixture of some of it I've grown and some of it I've bought, and the bought was just going out of date, so it was really cheap, so that's quite a good idea. Things like bark and such like you can obviously pick up whilst you're out wandering around if you can, and it's things like obviously pumpkin seeds. It's quite easy to save some pumpkin seeds when you have a pumpkin after you've finished with it. Oh, back here is, I keep in this box all my incense and oils, and it's also worth, I think, investing in pestle and mortar, because it's cheaper to grind your own herbs than it is to buy them already ground, to a certain degree, a lot of things, and then you know exactly what you're grinding up. You're not going to be fooled into buying something that isn't what it says it is. Okay, so coming up to here, obviously these are all just small herb pots. I don't have a huge, great big herb collection because I don't use huge amounts. So there's little things like this is heather. And the other thing is, let's get this back up here. Oh, nice and bright. Tea towel that my mummy bought me. Okay, so you want your herbs to look really nice and you want some matching pots, but you can't afford them. So use a jam jar or a pickle jar, as long as it's properly cleaned out and everything. And you may be thinking, oh, but I don't like all the different colour lids. And here's where my witchy tip comes in. This lid was coloured, and all you need to make all your lids nice and matching is a permanent marker, a colour of your choice. Black's easiest because it covers everything. And if I swing you back round here again, you'll see that most of my lids are black. See, they're all black, and it's because they have all been coloured in with a black marker pen. Some of these, and I think these jars I got from a second-hand store. I think they call them thrift stores in America, but it was from a second-hand store. Little jam jar pots, and once again coloured in with a black marker, so you can make it look nice. And you know, obviously I like all different size jars and different types of jars, but to make the ones that you do have sort of like a bit more uniform, you can just colour in the lids, which is, you know, makes it look pretty. So there, witching on a budget. First tip. Next tip, it's a crystal tip. Now, I think I said once before about how it's nice to have lots of pendulums. I love pendulums, and I do have quite a few. I've got 1, 2, 3, there's 4 and that's 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So I've got 15 or 16 different pendulums, which is nice. It's fun, you know, but it can work out quite expensive. So So once again, a small investment would be a pendulum cage or a crystal cage. So all this is a little cage. I like this one because it's got a point at the end, and you pop your crystal inside and then just, she says, you pop your crystal inside and then you close it up. So you can just use it if you do like divination and having all different different crystal for depending on what you're divining for. That's a really useful way and a cheap way of doing it, because obviously buying a crystal is a lot cheaper than, sort of like buying a few tumblestones is a lot cheaper than buying a pendant. And also when you buy the tumblestones, you know you're getting the real crystal rather than a fake piece of glass. So, and you don't have to have ones this shape, you can get other shapes. I also have tanded up a nice little circular one, so that's quite a nice one. That one's just got, it's got little stars all over it. So, you know, for a very small investment, these are like, I think they're about 89 pence each. You know, they're very cheap, so less than £1. So, you know, in the long run, that very small investment works out a lot cheaper. So let's get these out of the way. Next, I haven't actually got a crystal ball here. What I do have is my crystal ball stand. And it took me ages to find one that I liked, and I do like the 3 witches. I think that's really cute. And I haven't got my crystal ball out because I don't like to get it out in bright light. I like to get it out in candlelight or moonlight. So I use this paperweight as, you know, to show you. And, you know, that's really nice. But it doesn't do much, if you see what I mean. It's just a stand. So what I like to use, this is just for display, and I tend to display things on it, is, and I've got 3 different sizes here. 1, 2, 3. And they're really nice. I'll show you this with my egg. Where's the ball? There's the ball. See, they hold them beautifully, and all these are lids from a coffee jar. This one and this one is, oh, I'll say the name. It's Dow Egbert's coffee, and this one is a flavoured coffee that I used to like, and they come in smaller jars. So, but they hold any crystal balls, glass balls, any of the egg shapes. And what's really nice about them as well is you can put things in the bottom. So you can put crystals in the bottom, or, you know, something in the bottom to help with your divination, whether that be, you know, a crystal or a herb or something. So you can pop that in the bottom and then put your ball on top, and it's kind of nice. I think it helps you, you know, or you can put a rune underneath, something like that. So it gives you that little bit of space. So once again, don't spend out, I think for my 3 witches one with the wooden stand, I think I paid about £15 for it. It was ridiculously expensive. Okay, it's nicely made, but even so, still expensive. You might be able to get them cheaper these days. I think a lot of pagan crafts have come down in price. But, you know, why pay out for something when you can get something that I think is more useful and nicer, and, you know, for free. I mean, if you didn't want it clear, you could put perhaps tissue paper in the bottom, or some little sparkly bits or something. You know, spray paint it, make it your own. So that's another way of really getting something witchy on a budget. So those are my tips and tricks for today, and I hope you enjoyed that. Just a short video, and hope you don't mind the wobbling too much. I was trying to hold the camera and film at the same time, but it didn't quite work. So there you go, witching on a budget. Bye for now, witchy people.